Hiya folks, welcome to the show, and today we are back with Amphibia Season 2, Episode 14, The First Temple, our next lore-heavy, no doubt emotional, huge, special double-length episode, and I am utterly terrified. But first, if you just so happen to be new around here, be sure to subscribe, because if you don't, then I will have no choice but to politely ask you again. Alright, that's all I have to say, so let's jump right into it. Okay, Season 2, Episode 14, The First Temple, in 3, 2, 1.
I thought you kids deserved a treat after, well...
You lied and buried the music box, causing Anne to almost leave the family forever?
Yeah. We're gonna be dealing with this, aren't we?
I made the batter from scratch, you know. It's been up since the crack of dawn, mixing.
Oh, great.
Oh, this is gonna be awkward, isn't it? There she is. Okay, this is really cute and fun, but what did Andreas talk to her about at the end of a day at the aquarium? Because I need to know.
I think she didn't show up a few days ago, am I right? You need to stop.
Yes, Sprig, please stop.
My studies are correct, then... Come on, Joe. Joe? Joe Sparrow! Snail alone!
I ship it.
Pretty cramped up here, huh?
Oh, so where do I sit?
I mean, you kinda do deserve it, I'm just saying.
Because none of them were Marcy Woo, head of the chess club, master RTS player, straight A student, except for Jim, but only because I was reading in class with proves my point.
That's all great, Marcy. Be careful. When you get this into something, you tend to tune everything else out.
Oh my god, it's Flappy Bird. That is a throwback.
500 snakes have escaped from... Wait, is that a middle school student?
Marcy! No! It was the worst Saturday of my life.
Let's go.
Can we get some shorts about just Anne, Sasha and Marcy before they came to Amphibia? Because I just really want to see more of that.
The point is, I'm not gonna let you guys down.
You know, I wouldn't mind being let down.
I mean, not this high up, you don't.
Welcome to Amygdala Woods, everyone. Home to the first temple. Oh.
Not very temple-like.
That's the temple.
Yeah, that's more like it.
So what's this then?
The outhouse.
Outhouse. Outhouse.
Why would it be anything else, Sprig?
Oop, sorry about that. After you, dude.
Oh, no.
We're gonna have to deal with this the entire episode, aren't we? Oh, usually that sets off a trap.
A dead end. Well, we tried our best, and that's what counts.
Oh, this is the whole zoning out thing.
Fun is this?
Alright, that's probably like, you know, gazillion years old and you just smashed it on the ground, but okay.
A dangerous room. What to do? Don't be jealous of my hue. Huh? Who's hue? I wonder.
Cause it's the gem. It's the gem colours.
Solved it. Okay, guys. Let's
Same here.
Now who wants to hit that button?
I'll do it. The whole point of this is to get you home alive. I've already had a good life.
No hop.
Oh.
Step on the time.
I care about you too, Anne.
I mean, to an extent, right? You kind of proved that when you buried the music box.
Now hold on. That's unfair.
Listen, Hop Hop. When push came to shove, you made a choice. It's fine. But let's stop pretending I'm part of the family, okay?
Everything okay over there? Can someone please hit the button?
Yeah, no, they're just having some family drama. Ah, yeah. Gotta be honest, I'm kind of more invested in Hop Hop and Ann than I am in getting the first gem glowing again.
Come on, team!
And I told you I was gonna step on that.
Yeah, there's only one puzzle left, but we're halfway through this episode, so, you know.
It could make the last puzzle pretty rough. I'm sure they'll work it out by the time we get there.
How long is this?
Nothing I can do to fix this. One thing.
A SpongeBob time card.
And this is a long hallway.
They did not just use a SpongeBob time card.
It'll be nice to sit this one out, cause these flippers be tired.
Oh.
Are you okay?
Okay, I got a sword, baby. I'm doing better than all of you. Trust me, okay?
Okay, I hope you know what you're doing.
Ooh, I get a scepter.
You're a pawn.
Yeah.
Oh, looks like I'm not in the game. Well, you guys have fun, I guess.
Oh no, she's on the other side.
Wait, what?
And no traitor! Okay, I can't move. And
What's going on?
Our hands are tied, literally.
Oh no, Marcy.
don't worry,
Marcy.
everyone. I'll just play well enough so that none of you gets hurt. It'll be like hard mode. Fun!
You wouldn't be saying that if you were the pawn.
Okay.
I don't like this game.
Such a big
Par for the course for this show, honestly. Okay, yes, but,
Gotta admit, this temple's good, but not good enough.
What a day.
Papa! Marcy! Do something! Alright, so what if it cheats? Still not enough to beat me.
no. This would be a good time to, you know, talk it out, you two, I'm just saying.
What's it gonna take for you to let this go?
Hop up, I don't know!
Huh?
Take all the time you need. Maybe it's enough to admit we've still got issues, instead of pretending they don't exist.
I think that'd be good. I'd hug you, except, you know, logical restraints.
He had a family. He had a family.
Polly just doesn't care.
No! Hop up, and who cares about this stupid game? I forfeit!
Marcy!
Ow.
Marcy? Marcy, I don't understand.
Yeah, why'd you throw the game?
Because it wasn't worth you guys getting hurt. I got so caught up in proving I was smart enough to win, I couldn't see what I was about to lose.
Well, in your defense, that game was a ding-dang cheat.
Yeah, I still think you're pretty smart.
Little obsessive, though.
Greg.
Need a ride, old timer?
I'm not that old, but yes, thank you.
The failure arrows wants to keep going this way. Well, if we're gonna lose, might as well lose all the way.
What? Outhouse?
Wait a second. What's that?
No.
It can't be. Guys, this is where we charge the stone.
Wouldn't recommend touching that.
A choice was made to save thy friends, and honestly, doesn't that make you a winner in the end?
That last bit was oddly casual.
The temple wasn't just testing for intelligence, it was also testing for humility. Well, don't give the temple a chance to change its mind. Charge that bad boy. We did it! Guys, it's leading us to the next temple.
All right, one down, two to go. Ow.
Oh, and Whoops,
Pop Pop, it's totally fine. It hurt, but I know you didn't mean to, and I want you to know that I'm really not mad about it.
Well, thank you, Anne. And I want you to know that I will make an effort to be more careful about where I walk, because...
Hey, can we leave now? Yeah, this is uncomfortable to watch.
We're working on it!
Hey, you guys want to go straight to the next temple tonight? Or take a break first?
Break, please!
Fair enough.
No,
The
no.
political situation is worsening.
Yunnan! Yunnan!
Why, it's a message from Marcy. Looks like they're making progress. That's enough for now, human. I'll handle the rest.
Sire?
Excuse me. Oh no, I remembered what's coming.
The prophecy is being undone as we speak, my lord. Soon, we will have our revenge.
Revenge on whom? Revenge on whom? Oh! Okay, you're just gonna leave it there? Can't wait to not see that again until the season finale. Well, okay then. That was the first temple. It was good. It was really, really good. I was so happy that Marcy didn't turn on them at the very end, because from some of the images I was seeing, that was the direction I thought this was going to go in. It was, as always, absolutely hilarious. It's a lot to take in. Especially that ending. Wow. You know, as I said, probably not going to see any more of that until the season finale, but I am waiting with bated breath. Okay, I'm struggling to find words now, so on to the review. Okay, we have a lot to unpack here. The episode opens with Hot Pop treating the kids to pancakes, as Sprig, like always, is incredibly tactful and considerate. We see there is still a bit of tension between Hot Pop and Anne. But it's against the law to have healthy and open communication before the third act, so they're interrupted by Marcy's arrival on her new Sparrow Joe, as everything and everyone is conspiring to make Anne and Hot Pop as uncomfortable as possible. It's time for everyone to head to the Intelligence Temple in order to recharge the first gem. However, there isn't enough room on Joe for all of them, so Hot Pop flies economy class. While flying, Anne tries to talk to Marcy about her tendency to hyper-focus on a task/activity and block out the world around them, because there is not a single character on the Disney Channel who isn't neurodivergent. Just try looking for one. You can't. Marcy shrugs off Anne's concerns as they land in the Omegalo Woods, and after some confusion, spot the temple, where they will have to beat 3 trials to return the green gem's glow. The first trial is a cube puzzle where each move changes the room, and here's where we start to get to see that whole getting lost in the zone thing Anne mentioned earlier. Nevertheless, Marcy completes the puzzle as they all move on to the next room, where they are faced with a floor of multicolored tiles. Either step on the right one or you're crushed or burned alive. It's nice when death traps have variety. Marcy figures out they have to step on the green tiles. Gee, I wonder how they could have possibly figured that one out. But they need one more volunteer to jump to the other tile. Anne and Hot Pop start arguing over which one of them should be the one to do it, leading to Anne saying they should stop pretending she's part of the family. And you could pinpoint the exact second my heart ripped in half. To prove how much he cares, Hot Pop is about to jump until Anne pushes him back and leaps off the platform. Because a 13-year-old human teenager is clearly more suited for clearing a gap than a frog. And it's a long walk to the third and final challenge, giving Anne and Hot Pop plenty of time to communicate their feelings and come to an understanding, or they could yell at each other for an hour. That works too. The final puzzle is a life-sized game of flipwort, which is like chess but to the max. Whatever that means. And the Plantars are about to receive a first-person crash course as they are now the board pieces. And here is where I started to really worry about what Marcy would do, because A, she has some kind of plan with Andreas. B, she's the one who found the music box and told the other two, so there is something she is clearly not telling us. And C, we all know this show is building up to a war between the frogs, newts, and toads, with each of the girls taking a side, so something's gotta happen. Anne and Hot Pop finally start to talk with instead of at each other and understand Anne still needs time before they can move on. And they can't keep trying to ignore that there's still unresolved issues between them. This causes Marcy to finally open her eyes and see what she's doing, immediately forfeiting the game to save everyone. Once they are led outside, the arrows take them to what both the show and me earlier wrote off as just an outhouse, which actually turns out to be where they recharge the first gem. By deciding to forfeit the game and choosing the planters over her own ego, Marcy had won the challenge as we see the green gem glow in her eyes reappear before draining out of her to power up the gem. With the first gem now powered up, it starts pointing the way towards the next temple, but the others decide they need a little break before doing that all over again, as we see things starting to improve between Anne and Hot Pop. But then we dissolve to Newtopia, where General Yunnan,
Scourge of the Sand Wars, defeater of Ragnar the Wretched, and the youngest Newt to ever achieve the rank of general in the great Newtopian army,
is informing King Andreas about what began as the Little Valley Rebellion has quickly transformed into something more. She's about to make him aware of Sasha working with Grime when they're interrupted by a letter from Marcy. He dismisses General Yunnan
Scourge of the
and travels down to the basement where...
The prophecy is being undone as we speak, my lord. Soon, we will have our revenge.
And that's it. What? And that was the first temple. How would I describe it? In a word, pain. In a sentence, please Matt, make the pain stop. We'll talk about Marcy first because I am so happy she hasn't turned on us yet. And after this episode, I'm starting to have my doubts she will. Which is exactly what the crew wants us to think to lure us into a false sense of security. Unless they do a complete bait and switch and have Marcy side with Anne and Wartwood. Perhaps her mentioning beating Andreas at Flip War is foreshadowing to Marcy being the key to his defeat, which would just be amazing. But rather than speculating on what may happen, let's talk about what did happen, because Marcy was amazing in this episode. From her forming better connections with Sprig and Polly to her placing her relationships over her own ego and pride. I feel moving forward that will be the main thing Marcy will work on as a character, the need to be always right and prove she's the best. But even though this is a hugely important episode for the plot, focusing on getting the first gem working again to create the girls' gateway home, the most important aspect of this episode to me was how it followed up after the rain. It's going to take more than tragic backstory reveals to mend this rift between Hot Pop and Anne, and I'm glad this episode called them out on that. Things are not going to go back to how they were if the two keep trying to pretend nothing is wrong until they inevitably explode at each other. It's going to take communicating their feelings, understanding, and of course, time. Hot Pop had reasons for what he did, but he still betrayed Anne's trust by lying to her, which is what she's mostly upset about. And hopefully we're going to see the two slowly work through these issues throughout the last episodes of season 2. However, I am terrified at the idea of either Sasha or Andreas learning what happened and using it to manipulate Anne into helping them, causing her to turn on the others even if just for a little while. Maybe even ending the season with them separated. But let's move on to more pleasant thoughts. So, who's the new endgame villain that's going to destroy everything and everyone we love? And can we talk about how Amphibia is slowly turning into this steampunk-esque world, because I am so here for it. I really want to know why this world used to have this type of technology in the past but has now been forgotten. Also, as to the design of this thing, I have several queries. I'm going to run with the idea that this is some kind of cyborg, since we hear it power on, it's connected to a bunch of wires, but those eyes look distinctly organic. Andreas says something about a prophecy being undone. I think it's a safe bet this creature is the same one the three girls are depicted battling in the mural from the intro. So maybe by having the girls recharge the gems, they lose their enhanced abilities, which are a key part in this prophecy. But then, how does the whole multiverse aspect fit into this? Honestly, I'm not very good at looking up lore and coming up with detailed theories on the plot, as I'm far more interested in the characters and their emotional journeys than I am the bigger picture. But I'll just say, I am expecting all hell to break loose in the season 2 finale, and season 3 is just going to be completely insane. But yeah, that was the first temple. A spectacular episode that was exactly what we needed after something as monumental as After the Rain. It followed up on Ann and Hot Pop's conflict and showed that there is still some bad blood between the two of them. However, it gave them a chance to properly air out their grievances and realize moving past this has to be something that happens naturally and only when they're both ready for it. Marcy was her lovable self, but the episode provided her with some much needed development and a much more introspective look at her as a person. Something we started with Marcy at the gates, but now with her staying in Wartwood for a while, I'm hoping we get a much more detailed arc for her. Sprig and Polly didn't have huge roles, but provided some much needed levity on the journey. And since we're now in the home stretch of the season, I doubt we'll be waiting very long before we follow up on all the various twists the episode threw at us. Still, like the Plantars, I'm okay with taking a little break before we continue with the fetch quest. Because after these last 2 episodes, I am emotionally exhausted and need some Season 1 style fun side character exploration stories. If you're feeling rather bold, be sure to tell me down below what your thoughts were on the first temple. I'd love to discuss it with you. And be sure to join me next time for a quadruple video as I take a look at New Wartwood, Friend Off Robo, Toad to Redemption and Maddie and Marcy, in a desperate attempt to get up to date before the season finale hits. Thanks so much for watching folks, and I'll see you real soon.